does your
personal identification number. In other words, your code to get into your systems
I
or
don't think
your
he would
account.
ask you that because he knows you wouldn't. Nobody would get
Well,
that.
what's he talking about?
I have no idea. Can you elaborate in the chat,
PIN?
Mr. Bone? Because he sent in the donation asking that. What does the PIN mean? What do you mean by pin? He doesn't have a pin on.
JJB in 2023. That's Judge Joe Brown for mayor in 2023. If that's what he's talking about.
The red pin that is on your jacket. Okay.
Oh.
He forgot he had the pin on.
It says elect. Is this mirror?
Elect Joe Brown mayor. Yeah, that's his campaign pin. Okay. So Mr. Bone is not crazy. You forgot you had the pin on. You should put it higher. But yeah, it says elect Judge Joe Brown for mayor. So he has a campaign pin.
We have them in blue too. I'm an independent.
Somebody said I want the red pin. Oh, so you know what I did? I created a merchandise store and the link is in the description. I didn't really start promoting it, and it has the ManUp logo. That's the only logo for right now. So you could get t-shirts, you could get cell phone covers, you could get bags. And I had my first purchase this week. However, all the proceeds to this merch is going to go to your campaign, Judge. I have not been promoting it. So going forward, and I'm going to write that down on each show I do, I'm going to be promoting the merchandise store, but the link is in the description. I'm going to put it in the chat as well. But all proceeds are going to Judge Joe Brown campaign.
2 thumbs up.
Yes. Pop culture.
Yeah.
Pop culture. We'll get through this quick. This is my baby, Jonathan Majors. That's my boo. So Jonathan Majors did an interview with NPR. I love this setup. And she asked a question about masculinity. So this is his take, actor Jonathan Majors, on masculinity. And I do want to ask you, Judge, about Black men in Hollywood. But first, let's listen to this clip, right?
As a human being, your entire existence is being disregarded. Mm-hmm. And that's Killian's plight. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, it is a story of triumph. Mm-hmm. And it's a love letter. You know, it's it's one of those. As you said.
You talked about being a Black man and this idea of masculinity,
yeah,
and this idea of what that encompasses, right? Yeah. And I think that you probably are not aware of this, but a few days ago you were trending on Twitter.
Yep.
Some people didn't like that you were wearing pink and ebony, and they felt like it wasn't masculine enough. I know that you have said that you look at a lot of your roles, like be it Atticus Finch and Lovecraft Country, as an antidote to like a limited way of thinking about masculinity.
Yeah.
What do you say to those? I mean, I think they're haters. I think it's toxic.
Well, yeah, I imagine it's the homies, right?
It's one
of the homies
it was,
that
who was
shit.
like, it's they, you know.
I like to meet the fellas, you know what I mean?
Well, I think they, you think they would want to meet you though? Because they might have to.
I don't even take it there. You know what I mean? I would just like to, I'd just be curious, you know.
What they have to say.
Tell me what masculinity is. Mm. You know what I mean? Like, it is fluid.
Yeah.
You know, you tell me what it is. You know, I mean, I wouldn't want to walk up on me in the street. You know what I mean? Like just 110%. You know what I mean? Like, but it's bigger than that. It's love. You know, it's like maybe there's fear in that. Maybe it makes you fearful. It's tough because the conversations you would have man to man. You know what I mean? There's conversations you would have. You know.
Twitter.
Yeah.
But what do you think masculinity? Like, what is your definition of masculinity?
It's balanced, isn't it? Mm-hmm. There's strength. Right? And there's vulnerability. There's awareness. And then there's acknowledgement of ignorance. A big part of it is kindness. Mm-hmm. Right? Use of power.
Yeah.
Gentleness.
Mm-hmm.
These are masculine characteristics.
Yes.
It's quite unmasculine
mm-hmm.
to try to emasculate another man.
Absolutely.
I'm not coming for nobody. Yeah. But kindness is a big part of it. doesn't matter, how much you weigh or how much you bench press. That's not the point. You know what I mean? It's none of that. It's an energy. It's an energy. You know what I mean? And I hear my brothers. We fight and claw for every inch of positive popularity we get, of positive news we get, And it's not lost on me that in this moment, because of the pictures I've made and because of the way I move through the world, I may be seen as that. And I don't shy away from, this idea of black masculinity. I'm just living my life. I am male. I am black. These things go hand in hand. I mean, foot and shoe, hand in glove, I asked them to, be a bit more enlightened.
As a black actor, you are a black actor.
Yeah.
Is there a fear of, not only do I have to make the right decisions, but I don't want to let, my grandma down
Yeah.
or my mama down,
Yeah.
or that I won't live up to expectations? Do you feel that?
I think my fear goes to, man, I hope they like it. God, I hope they like me. You know what I mean? Or they like what that guy did. That they like Damien, that they like Kane. Because I made it for him. You know what I mean? That's the fear. As far as.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on his comments on masculinity? He says masculinity is fluid.
Me?
Oh, yes.
Well, let's start at the back end of what he said. My life doesn't belong to me alone. It belongs to the people. The duty of a man is to protect womanhood and promote manhood. Promoting manhood means training the boys so they can become men in the difficult task of being willing under certain circumstances to sacrifice their lives on the altar of duty, honor, obligation, responsibility, accountability, of ensuring that where you live is a place of public peace, dignity, and order, and when necessary, being brave and courageous to effectuate that. If he wants an exemplar, that white man and that black man, one of whom, the black man, he played in that story about not Roscoe, Ensign Brown, United States Navy. You saw the movie. It's a true thing where he got shot down behaving heroically at the Chosin Reservoir to save those Marines in his ground attack, and where his white wingman landed, put his own life at risk to redeem or rescue him at all costs. It's outside of yourself. It takes a lot to put that into a man. And in order to put that into a man so he is a real man and not just a male, there can be no compromises. You have to start this process when the boy child is still in the cradle. And from the cradle to the grave, that manhood must be reinforced and constantly restuffed back into the depths of his mind, from the very bottom of it to the very top of it. Because ultimately, being a man means that when the next Titanic goes down, if you're on it, you will stand up and say, ma'am, you and your child have my seat in this lifeboat, and I'll drown with the ship, but you two will be saved. You are a resource to humanity. I am but an expendable, and I will achieve my glory through an immortality commensurate with how much I was willing to sacrifice in order to carry out my duties and responsibilities, protect my honor, and show that I'm doing that with courage and bravery. That is being a man.
Okay. I just want to sure, Creed comes out tomorrow. I'm going to see it. And
what is the name of that movie I'm talking about? You wanted to see it. You saw it. We both did.
Ant-Man.
What? No. Hell with that.
Creed?
No, the one that Pilot.
Oh, Devotion.
Well, he actually looked like Devotion. Yeah, that's the movie.
Yes.
That's a true story. We learned that years ago in military science. So he plays another Brown. There's a Roscoe Brown, who is one of the leading Army Air Force aces in World War II now. Roscoe Brown, professor emeritus of New York University, now deceased. And we're going to have a very interesting person on. We're going to have the chairwoman of the Tuskegee Airmen's Association, a brilliant lady who is dedicated to promoting what they stood for.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Moving on. That was the only pop culture for today. So,
well, you heard what my remarks were.
Yeah, there
great. Is nothing fluid about being a man. You see, they want to think about it in terms of sexuality. Alexander the Great was a practicing homosexual, but he was a badass. So was Julius Caesar. The ones I'm talking about are the little prancy type who are Twitter and run off in, shrieking terror anytime you have to make a stand and won't fight and all this other stuff. No, men
thank you.
Have obligations.
Thank you, Wink, for the donation. I thought you loved me. Whatever. Boy, bye.
Don't judge him, Joe Brown.